Christmas songbook tag, which is originally by Haley in Bookland, and I will link her down below. So this I was tagged in again by Lisa, who is basically sponsoring my Vlogmas. So I've got my books ready and I'm just going to go through the tag questions and answer them, because that's how tags work. So the first one is, "You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch," and that is it. Name a villainous character you couldn't help but love. For this I've gone for Eric from the Six Stackhouse novels. I love Eric. I thought there was, oh my god, there's a pen on my book, I just noticed this. This was in a sealed box set. How did that happen? Because it wasn't me. And there's coffee on it. Anyway, oh my god, sorry, distracted. So I chose Eric Northman from the Sticky Stackhouse series, because he is, I mean, he is the epitome of why I like problematic men in books. Like, he is the perfect example. He is absolutely the villain in so much of this, and yet I love him so much. Next one is, "All I Want for Christmas Is You." Which book do you most hope to see under your Christmas tree? I really don't know. I've answered this question in a couple of tags now and I'm running out of ideas. I don't know. I've got a few on my wish list, but there's nothing particularly jumping out at me. There is a couple of Maisie Eddings books I would like, so I'll pop them up here. I can't remember what they're called. Number 3 is, "Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Name a character that overcomes major obstacles and learns to believe in themselves." So for this I've gone for Shatter Me. Juliet starts off in Shatter Me as a really scared, sort of weak person, and by the end of the trilogy, but by the end of the rest of the books that she wrote after, becomes this confident leader, becomes this person who knows that she has these abilities and that she can sort of empower herself through those abilities and through just gaining that internal strength. So I really struggled with this one, but I absolutely think Juliet is that character. Number 4 is "Santa Claus is Coming to Town," and that is in 2 parts, which is, which character do you think would be on top of the naughty list, and which character do you think would be at the top of the nice list? For that I've chosen Helena from Her Majesty's Royal Coven to be on the top of the naughty list, and Mr. Tom from Goodnight Mr. Tom for the nice list. If you've read this book, you know why. Helena is just the worst. She is, as far as I'm concerned, she is inflated with power. She is a TERF and is just a horrible person. So yeah, Helena from Her Majesty's Royal Coven is definitely at the top of the naughty list. Nice list wise, definitely Mr. Tom. He starts off as such a grumpy old man, literally, and by the end of it is just this loving, caring, I mean, he's always been a loving, caring person, but because of the trauma that he went through, losing his wife and son, he's become this grumpy recluse, and then he gets given Willie, who he has to look after because of the war, and the bond they end up with is just incredible. I love this book. I've loved this book since the first time I read it, and the relationship they have and the way that they are together, it just warms your heart. Number 5 is Frosty the Snowman, a book that just melts your heart. And I'm not even going to pretend anymore, it's Heartstopper. Warm fuzzies, heartfelt, like, melts me. I love Heartstopper. Love it. There's just something about diving back into this book with these characters that just makes me so happy. I could cry. I have a Heartstopper tattoo. I am so far and so deep in love with Heartstopper that this will always be my answer to this question. Number 6 is Feliz Navidad, and that is, choose a book that takes place in a country other than your own. I could have chosen quite a lot of books for this. I live in Scotland in the UK, and most books I have are set somewhere else, but I decided to go for The Girl in the Blue Coat by Monica Hesse. This is set in the Netherlands. Specifically, this is set in Amsterdam, but the Netherlands is not the UK or Scotland, so there we go. Number 7 is The Most Wonderful Time of the Year. Which holiday themed book do you use to spread the Christmas joy? Again, this is one I've said a lot. Let It Snow by John Green, Maureen Johnson and Laura Miracle. I just love this book. I just think it is just... I can't explain it. It's just full of love and hope and happiness, and it's funny and just... I just love it. This is just one of my favourite, probably my only holiday book that I have. I cannot think of a single other book on my shelves that I would classify as like a Christmassy holiday book. Number 8 is Sleigh Ride. Which fictional character would you choose to spend the holidays with? And for me, that is the Arjuna clan. This is Lindsay Sand's Arjuna series. This is the first one I quick bite. It is based around a family, who are the Arjuna family. There is the mother and her 5 children, and each of these books is about how each of the children find their life mates, because as you can probably see from the picture, these are vampire characters. So they're scientific vampires, which means that their vampirism comes from nanotechnology that was injected into test subjects in Atlantis thousands of years ago. And when Atlantis fell, these people who'd been injected with the nanos sort of were the only ones that survived, because it gave them this ability to be sort of immortal. So it was meant to destroy all of the sicknesses, illness. It was meant to bring them to their peak health and then stop working. But humans are always under sort of attack from sunlight, pollution in the air, aging. So these nanos never stopped working. So it created these immortals, or vampires as we call them, but they prefer immortals. So they then survived the fall of Atlantis and went into a world where there were no blood transfusions or anything like that, because the nanos used blood to power themselves. And that forced them to evolve. The nanos forced them to evolve, to have the speed, the fangs, the ability to control and hear thoughts, along with a whole bunch of other things. And for them, a life mate is someone whose thoughts they cannot hear nor control, and vice versa. It is the person. The nanos pair them up perfectly. It's one of those things where like they are indisputably perfect for each other, and I absolutely love these. But this family, if they decide you're part of their family, they take care of you. Take care of you. They go to bat for you. They will put their lives on the line for you. And it is expanded into 30 odd books. All these characters being drawn into this family, because it starts off with 5, and then adds cousins and like friends. And if they decide you're part of the family, you're part of the family, and their Christmas must be amazing, because there must be hundreds of them at this point, with like everybody that's not being discussed yet, and I would just love to be a part of that. Number 9 is Baby It's Cold Outside. Which book that you didn't like would you sacrifice to a fire to warm yourself up in the cold? For me, that is Delirium by Lauren Oliver. I actually DNF'd this because the amount of animal abuse in it was just unbelievable. It was gratuitous, and for absolutely no reason that I could see. So yeah, I hate this. I will not be continuing the trilogy, and I might actually burn this book. I've never burned a book in my life. Might actually burn this on principle because I hate it. I hate it. Number 10 is Do You Hear What I Hear? Which book do you think everyone should read? And I'm going to go for Who's Afraid by Maria Lewis. Who's Afraid is the first in the Supernatural Sisters series. It is following Tommy Grayson, who is a half Kiwi, half Scottish werewolf, and she's just discovering that she is in fact a werewolf when her clan, her pack, come to find her. Helped by this immortal guide called Larkan, who comes from this sort of government power, who are actually quite, twisted, as you get to find out. But I love these books, and I think everybody should read them. Number 11, Where Are You at Christmas? A book that you want immediately that isn't out yet. I swear Tori is going to just, she's going to be happiest when I finally get this book in my hands. And that is Chain of Thorns by Cassandra Clare. I need this book. I've been waiting for this book. It should have been out in November. It got pushed back. I need this book. The minute I get this book, I will drop everything and read it, because I've been waiting for too long. I need this book. Number 12, Last Christmas, a book you started out loving but didn't end up liking. For me, that is The Leviathan by Rosie Andrews. It's got these beautiful sprayed edges. This concept and this idea and the way it started is fantastic, and then it just sort of lost its thread. Halfway through, she inserted this other narrative to try and I don't even know what she was trying to do, but there was basically 2 stories in here and neither of them were told. She tried to tie 2 stories together, which if she had more book and more time, I think it would have been great, but I just feel like it fell a bit flat in the end, which is unfortunate because it started off really, really strong. Number 13, Blue Christmas, a book that made you cry. For that, I chose Codename Verity. I love this book. It's a World War II historical fiction, because, you know, it's me. And it is about a British spy that has been captured in Nazi-occupied France, and she is confessing to this Nazi officer and telling them her story, and it's so beautifully done, and it centres around as well Maddie, who is the friend of Verity, who's been caught, and she tells Maddie's story, basically how she met Maddie and Maddie's training for being a flight officer, because they this is about, she does a series about female pilots in World War II, because there were incredible female pilots during World War II that just do not get the credit they are due, and these books just... Nope, don't think of it. Yeah, the end of this book broke my heart. I've not read it since I think at least earliest 2019, and it still makes me well up. I could have chosen another one, another World War II historical fiction, The Nightingale by Kirsten Hanna. If you've read it, you know. Song of Achilles. The Sun Is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon also made me cry. But yeah, I'm going to stop before I actually start crying. Number 14 is A Marshmallow World, a fluffy book. So, for a fluffy book, I've chosen To All the Boys I Loved Before by Jenny Han. I just think this is the fluffiest romance. Like, the main character, Lara Jean, is just such a fluffy romance character. She bakes, she wears pretty skirts, and she is the definition of fluffy. So yeah, this is my choice for a fluffy romance. I need to reread these actually, I really enjoyed them, and I got through them really quickly. So yeah, if you've not read it, please do. It is a nice fluffy romance. It's YA, it's just beautiful. Okay, so that is the Christmas songbook tag. Thank you if you got this far. Thanks for watching, and enjoy your Vlogmas and enjoy your Christmas time, or whatever you celebrate at this time of year. I tried to get a consistent outro for this and realised when I was filming one of my other videos that I just totally messed all of it up. So yeah, you get what you get. But yeah, so thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!